Hello everyone. It is Wednesday Night Live. Although I'm late, I have to apologize for being late. I was on hold with an airline for like half an hour booking my flights to California for the historical romance retreat. Yay! I hadn't booked my flights yet. So, is anybody out there? Hello. I might need to start tagging and sharing. Hey, Joelle. Hey, Kelly. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm late tonight. Hi, Isadora. Hey, Becky. I got your dress here. So, so I've been busy doing Victorian bustle dresses this week. Hey, Kelly. And the other Kelly, Kelly Neville. Hi, Kelly. She got her dress this week, too, and it's beautiful on you. That blue one is beautiful. I hope you like the red one as much. I think it'll look awesome on you. So, as I said, I'm doing 2 Victorian bustle dresses. It kind of made sense, since I had 2 to do, to go ahead and do them back to back, especially since I was using similar pattern pieces. Hey, Terry, when is the retreat? Oh, September. Historical romance retreat. You guys, you need to go. This is, it's in California this year. Next year, it is not going to be in California. So if you're on the West Coast, you need to go. It's September 11th to the 15th. The website is historicalromanceretreat.com, I believe. The event is being held at the beautiful, gorgeous, fabulous Mission Inn in Riverside, California. And according to Renee Bernard, who is the owner, organizer, queen of the event, it is going to move to probably the East Coast in 2020. So, yeah, Terry, you need to go. You will have such a great time, and you'll get to dress up. And I know you like to sew. So, and you have time to do it. I mean, you have a few months to plan this thing. Please come. It would be so fun to hang out together. All of you guys, I know Becky's going, because this dress behind me is Becky Osif's dress, and she's going to be there. Yeah, there's a bunch of authors. It's all historical romance authors, but you don't have to be a historical romance author to go. So just, it would be so much fun. It really is. I love the event. It's my favorite. It's my favorite conference to go to. There's nothing that compares. It's beyond fabulous. So, Terry, you can PM me if you have any questions about it. But yeah, it would be fabulous to see you. So, who else? Again, it's in California. I don't remember how much the registration is, but go to the website. It's not that bad. The room rate is $169 a night, which is really, really good for this hotel. It's a beautiful, beautiful hotel. It was a Spanish mission, and it's just fabulous. There's no other word for it that I can think of. My writer brain's turned off, I guess, because I can't think of a better word. So anyway, I am busy doing dresses for people who are planning to go to that event and some other events. So I just finished this one for Becky, and you've seen lots of pictures of it, but sometimes the video, things show up better on the video than they do. So I'm going to show off this beautiful Victorian bustle gown, and then I will show you the one that I have in progress that is 3/4 finished, that I'm actually making for Renee Bernard, who is the organizer of the Historical Romance Retreat. So let me step back and let you see Becky's dress. Here, let me see if I can angle the camera so we can see the whole thing. Can I go up or down? I still haven't learned how to use this thing so well. Okay. Well, maybe I need to move it back. I hope you can see the whole thing. All right, can you see the whole dress? Ooh, I know. Easy solution, just slide the camera down. That should work, right? I hope. Okay, well, I want you to be able to see the whole dress. So I'm trying to angle. Here we go. All right, finally got it, right? So here we go. This is Lady Marionette, the Marchioness of Mode. So she's my model. So she's my official model for all my historical creations now. Hi, Chandra. Hi, Hilda. So here is a Victorian bustle gown. This is made in an iridescent taffeta, which is, it's a violet color. It's really beautiful, and the color changes a lot. In the bright light, it's almost a lavender hue that comes out. In the darker light, it's a dark, like a dark purple or violet. And the sequins on it, there's a floral pattern in sequins. It's kind of a mauve color. It's got a little bit of pink and a little bit of purple in it. So this was a lot of fun to work with. It was very challenging to work with because those wonderful little sequins all over it, they kept breaking my sewing machine needles over and over and over. So finally, the only solution was I had to physically take my seam ripper and pick off the sequins. Any sequins that were in the seam allowance where I had to sew, I had to remove them. So it took me hours and hours to remove the sequins in order to be able to sew the dress. So I didn't tell Becky that. Becky, it was a real pain in the butt. And I broke at least 6 sewing machine needles before I finally figured out that that's what I had to do to make this work. So other than that, it's a really beautiful dress. It was a lot of fun to make. It's in 4 pieces. There's an underskirt, which was the first of the garments that I made. Here, I'll move her arms up. Okay, so there's an underskirt, and then there's this front apron drape. This is a separate garment unto itself. I put snaps on it. It snaps in the back. And then there's the bodice, which has this draped ruffle that goes across and down the side. It took us a while to figure out what trim looked best, but Becky and I both really liked this ruffle. I think it's really pretty. It adds a lot of interest to the dress, I think. And then here's the bustle. Let me make sure we get this all in the picture here. So this was the other thing. We had to figure out what best would support this really big bustle. Now, in the Victorian era, there were actually 4 distinct bustle periods. The bustle came and went and evolved 4 times. So the first time you see the bustle is in, I guess it was the late 1860s. It's when they were still wearing the big hoop skirts, the antebellum hoop skirts. But they, in addition to the hoop skirt, they started wearing the little bustled overskirt, the bustle with the big hoop skirt. So that was the first bustle period. So it was a bustle worn, a small bustle, and it was a little bustle pad that they wore. And it elongated the back of the dress, and it was worn with the great big hoop skirt. So that was the first bustle period. The second bustle period is, now I don't know whether to call this one the second or the third because this one is so big. The second bustle period, the skirts had come in. They were more of an A-line shape. And we started to see the apron bustle in the front and the bustle in the back. And then so it would be like this, but this is a little bit large for the second bustle period, but it's not quite as large as the fourth bustle period. So I'll call this second bustle period. Okay, so the second bustle period, we have all this drapery in the front, and then we have the great big bustle in the back. And there is no one way that it was done. There are a lot of different ways to drape it and swag it, but this is a typical of the mid 19th century. And then I told you there were 4 bustle periods. The third bustle period was actually no bustle at all. In the third bustle period, they call that the natural form era. The dresses hugged the body. And it wasn't really a bustle so much as a train. It was all about the train. So if you guys were following me back in February when I made my masquerade dress in lilac for the Biltmore masquerade, Gilded Age masquerade, that was an example of the third bustle period. So I did have a drape around the front. There was actually no big bustle here, but there was a very long train in the back of the dress. And then the fourth bustle period was really crazy. Bustles came back with a vengeance because it was like this one, only even bigger. I mean, women looked like centaurs. There was so much bustle in the back. So this is close. This is really, really close to that fourth bustle period. So, so we've got a really big bustle going on. So I'll show you the back view. And there's a lot of different ways to drape the skirts. So we were trying to figure out how best to support this particular bustle. So I did find a bustle page on Amazon that ended up working after all. I had to do some re-engineering. But I'll show you what's under all this. This is similar to what they called a lobster tail bustle. The lobster tail had a little bit of padding on the bottom, but it's quite similar. You know how the lobster has these rings? You know how the lobster shapes. So this is very similar to the lobster tail bustle. So it's quite a big bustle, and you see I lined it in a pink satin that matched the sequins, which I thought that contrast was really pretty. So this is what we have supporting all that skirt, which I think it's a pretty fabulous dress. I'm very, very proud of it, and I'm very eager to see it on the person I made it for, Becky. And the color's going to be really pretty on her. All right, let me spin her back around. There we go. So let me jump to comments and questions, and then I'll talk about the other dress. Okay. Hey, Christine. Oh, yeah, Isadora, the sequins are a pain. Usually I can sew through them. I do a lot with embellished fabrics. Oh, all the ones that have little stones on them, I've had to pick things off before. A lot. Oh, the jeweled dress I did, the Marie Antoinette dress that had all the jewels on it, I had to pick all those off. I've broken fingernails. So I've had to do it before. Becky, don't feel bad. I've had to do it before. But it's my choice to work with these kind of fabrics. I mean, I just really love them. So, you know, that's the way it goes. So, hey, Melissa. Hey, Jennifer. You could put a tiny dog on that bustle like they used to do back in the day. Yeah, my dog's probably too big to ride on top of it. But, yeah, it's crazy big. Hey, Stephanie. So, okay, this one is finished, and now I told you I started another one, and that one is in my sewing room, so I will pick up my camera now, and I will walk into my sewing room and show you what I'm doing. It's very similar to this dress, but it's also very different. The second one is it's again iridescent, but it's a flocked taffeta. Flocked means it has a velvet flocking. So it's two colors. It's very dramatic looking, and it's half finished. I wanted it to look different. It has the same features. It has a shorter apron in the front, and I did do a different kind of bustle in the back because I didn't want them to be the same. Also, Renee wanted something high-necked or something to cover her neck. So what I did is I decided to make a dress that can be worn two ways. So I made a dickie to go with it. So the dickie is the high neck, and you can take it away for evening wear. I also made the underskirt differently. On this other dress, the underskirt itself has a built-in bustle. So I'll show it to you, and I'll show you the difference. So here we go. I'm just going to turn out my light here. All right, so I'm going back into my sewing room now, and I will turn the camera around. And this dress is a work in progress, but it's really beautiful. I'm really happy with it. Let me see if I can turn my camera around. So this is my work in progress now. So you see the different fabric. It's still an iridescent. The camera isn't picking up really well in this light. The color's kind of fading out in this light, but it's a green hue. And this is a just a dickie. I made it out of satin. It's not finished yet, so it's kind of all pinned. But this is removable. And the dress itself has, as I said, separate pieces, but I'll show you. Hang on. Oh, let me show you the bustle. I'll show you the bustle, and then I'll show you without the bustle. So let me step back so you can see the difference between the two dresses. So this one is not finished yet, but you can see it has the apron in the front, but it's a little bit shorter. This is a stiffer fabric. And then the bustle is also different. It's a three-layered bustle. Okay, so you see it has a little bit different shape. The top is not finished yet, so that's why it's gapping open. But let me take away this bustle, and you can see what's underneath. I just have it pinned on right now. So my idea was that the dress could be worn actually with the dickie without the big bustle. Here, let me just close this up. This has a peplum in the back that isn't sewn completely yet. Okay, so my idea was that for day wear, and it is going to have sleeves, it could be worn like this for day wear. So it still has a bustle. It's built into the skirt. And it would be worn with the dickie. And then for evening wear, this would go away. And it would be worn with the long bustle, and that would make it more appropriate as an evening gown, although it is going to have sleeves. So I'm really happy with how this is looking. I love both of these dresses, and they're similar, but they're very different too. So it was a challenge to try to come up with two very different dresses. So, you know, and I basically used the same pattern. I just modified different pieces of it. So I changed the bustle, I changed the front drape, and added the dickie to this. But the bodice is the same pattern, and the underskirt is the same pattern, but I added the poofs to this one. So, hey, Teresa. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Sylvia, Athena. Thank you. Isadora, it should be finished by tomorrow. Tomorrow evening at the latest. So, yeah, it came together very quickly. This one was a little bit easier to do than Becky's dress also, because this fabric is so much stiffer that it was very easy to bustle. On Becky's dress, I had to sew a layer of crinoline into the bustle. So her bustle is 3 layers. It's the outer layer of taffeta, it's got a layer of crinoline, and then it's got the lining. This one, I'm not even lining it. It doesn't need it. It's really crisp. It really holds the shape very, very well because the fabric's stiff because of all that flocking. So, you know, I only had to use 1 layer of fabric instead of 3. So that made it a lot easier, and it came together. And I didn't have to pick off any sequins. So this one was a lot easier to do. Oh, hey, Marcia. Thank you. Hey, Karen. So it has been a lot of fun. I really love the more elaborate dresses. I love to do the Victorian dresses. Let's see, I've only done, this might only be my, well, no, probably my 5th or 6th one. Let me see, I did bustle dress. No, my very first one was a red one that I sold to Kim Killian eventually. And then, let's see, I did a hot pink butterfly bustle, but I haven't worn that or done anything with that yet. I did a peacock dress for Zena Lynch that had a bustle. It was a little different style, but it was a bustle dress. Let me think. Did I do a bustle? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did the first bustle period. I did one for Karen Simpson last year. So I guess I have done more than I thought. And then I did the masquerade dress. So I guess I've probably done 8 or 9 of them now. I thought it was only 5 or 6, but I guess I've done 8 or 9 now. But I really, really enjoy them, and I really enjoy doing the elaborate Georgian dresses, the sack dress in particular, because, excuse me, they're very flamboyant and colorful and big and bold, and it's a lot of fun. Where the Regency dresses are more demure, and there isn't quite as much variety, but I've tried to spice it up a lot with those. I try to make them all a little bit different, and I try to use really interesting materials for those. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So, I guess that's all I have to say for tonight, other than, I was planning to go to the Jane Austen Festival next month, and I canceled it because I couldn't find anybody to go with me. My husband agreed to go, but he didn't really want to go, and it would have been, you know how it is, dragging somebody along with you who's just going, just to keep you company. He wasn't into it, and he wasn't going to dress up or any of that, so it would have dampened it for me. Plus, I'm a little disappointed. I had contacted them a year ago to see if I could maybe sell some dresses there, because they do have vendors, and they had several people selling bonnets, but only one person selling dresses. And I went to her website and everything, and my stuff's definitely comparable quality, at least, to hers. So, but I never heard back from them. And I followed up, and they didn't answer my emails. And I thought, you know what? I just don't really feel welcome, so I'm just not going to go. So I canceled my hotel reservation, and I'm just moving on. Maybe next year, maybe not. But I'll just keep doing my thing. So I hope to have some more news for you guys about Colonial Williamsburg next year, but that's for next year. And right now we're focusing on the Historical Romance Retreat in September, which is not far away. I just booked my flights tonight. It's already June, July, August, September, 3 months. So guys, if you're thinking you might like to attend an event and meet some of your favorite historical authors, this is the event to go to, because it's very geared toward readers. It's very social. It's not a working kind of conference. Everything about it is fun and exciting and creative, and I promise if you go, you will have just the time of your life. So if you're thinking about it, Historical Romance Retreat, I believe it's .com is the website. The hotel is the Mission Inn. It's in September. And here's a biggie. If you do go, you can help me celebrate my 55th birthday, because my birthday is September 13th. So that is the week of the retreat. So come and celebrate my birthday with me, please. That would be fun. All right, so I am going to sign off now. I hope some of you guys will think about it, and I will chat with you again next week, and I will have more fun stuff to show you.